Pawan, I think your slides are gone.
Right. Sure. Yeah, really sorry.
Yeah,
I on a
now
different
it's back.
machine and this is much slower. Okay, sure. We have started recording and we have the slides. So let's get started. I'll not even go to present mode. Yeah. So I talked about the teachers. So we, both of us will be teaching this course. Professor Nish Mukherjee and myself, Pawan Goyal. And for the TAs of this course, you will have a Google group that generally you can use for asking any doubts or clarification. So this, I also see them while sending emails to you first time. And we will have this course page that is active. You can, whatever materials we will have for notes or the problem sets, etc., we will upload on this web page. And you can find other details on this web page. So like last time we had taken this class while recording the videos, but this time we doing live lectures. So, no recording, we will directly do the lectures with Microsoft Teams, and of course we will record the Teams video. So you will be able to have both the facilities. You have the live session and you also have the recording. And you know the slots. So we have Wednesday 10 to 11, Thursday 9 to 10, and Friday 11 to 12. And you also know that we have another slot on Friday 12 to 1 that we will be using for a tutorial that we will discuss. I mean, what we will do in that tutorial, we will discuss. Now, right, in theory, we will talk about algorithms and data structures. I think more about that we will discuss tomorrow when the teaching will formally start. But you can maybe want to look at the last year website to see what are the topics we covered. And for, yeah, this is one of the concern from the students, how will we evaluate? So we will mainly have 4 online exams, right, like class tests, and they will be roughly 1 hour each. And here you can see the tentative timings. So, I mean, 3 of these are already provided in your academic calendar, and one of this is extra because there were only 3 in the calendar. So there will be a total of 4 tests at different timings, and we will, I mean, at some point of time, possibly soon, we will discuss with you what are the good timings on which we can keep days and time on which we can keep these tests when all of you are available. Okay. So this would be about the evaluation of the theory. Okay. Then, then we have the labs. So the lab will happen on each Thursday, 2 to 5 p.m. So yeah, somehow it happens that this semester your lab, I mean, we are starting on Thursday and your lab happens to be just today. So you do not get any extra day. But yeah, that's the way it is. And we also thought maybe we can do your lab next week, but you have a holiday next Thursday. So let's start the lab today. It's anyway going to be a revision in today's lab. So generally when we will do the labs in this course, they will be based on the topics that we are covering in the previous week. I mean, generally, so we cover a topic in a week in the theory, and we will do a lab based on that in the next week. Generally, that will be the pattern, except the first 2 labs when we will not have sufficient material covered. Okay. So after that, you will have a topic in the theory, and then you will have the lab. You will have the lab for that. So, so the labs run for 3 hours, 2 to 5 p.m. And what we will do at 2 p.m., we will explain what is the assignment problem. So generally, it should take close to 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. And once we, after we have explained this assignment problem, you will have the whole time up to 5 p.m. to work on this. and then you have to submit that before the cutoff time. That will be around 5. Okay, so you will submit it. Now, yeah. So this is about lab. So we will have various teaching assistants during the lab who will help you. And all the lab assignments, this is very, very serious, so you should do it on your own. Of course, you can take help of your notes, etc. But do not copy from anyone, I mean, including your friends or internet, because we will be doing plagiarism check, and if we find that your assignment is copied, you may be awarded 0. You will be awarded 0 for that. So that's why you should do the lab assignment on your own completely. And if you have doubts regarding the problem formulation, you should ask us and the TH, and yeah, we will try to help whatever way we can. And so yeah, so first lab today is on PDS revision. So where we will focus on the problem that will be about linked list, stacks, and queues. We will have today. Now, regarding the tutorial hour, so as per our experience, generally students have found lab to be a bit harder than the theory. So what we have thought this time, that in the tutorial hour, we will also try to help you solve a specific lab problem. So tutorial hour will be more geared towards the lab, but of course for the theory we will circulate a problem sheet that will contain problems regarding the topic that we have covered, and for any doubts you can also ask during this time. So the first tutorial we will have for this course will be on August 18th, that is the next week, Wednesday 10 to 11. So that day there are no classes. So this will be more about pointers, because you will use pointers a lot during your lab. And like for that week and also for this week, we will use this Friday slot for the class. So both tomorrow and next week Friday, you will have classes from 11 to 1 on Friday. So right. So now, how will you submit your lab assignments? Where you will find your lab assignments? This will all be on CSE department Moodle. So yeah, give me a minute. I will send you the link for that in the chat so that you know where is the CSE department Moodle. And you will have to register yourself, and the key will also be told. So I will tell the key on the chat. And especially in the beginning, please ensure that you keep checking your emails, and we may be discussing various modalities during email. And Professor Animesh Mukherjee.
Sir, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Please join the course Google group. So you have been shared an invite. And if you have not got an invite, I think we have been sending emails. So please do that and ensure that you are part of Google group so that we can directly communicate with you using the Google group. Please, in a very short intro about the modality, but now I think we have time where we will discuss more about India.
Okay, guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I am already seeing that there are a few queries in the chat box regarding the Google group. So what you do is like it would be best like if one of you could take charge, consolidate all the Gmail IDs of those who have still not been added, and send it to me. Like rather than like mails trickling into my inbox one by one, which has risk of like me missing some of them. It would be best like if one of you can take charge and like have all the names. Say for instance, those of you who have registered just yesterday, so take all the names and the Gmail IDs of those people, collate it, and send it to me over email, and then like I will add all of them all together in one single go. So that would be the best way to proceed. So maybe one of you can raise hand to like so the person who is most well connected, maybe he or she can raise hand and take this responsibility. I do not see anyone raising hands. Nobody wants to take. Okay. Okay, so there are two people at least who have raised hands. So that's already very good. So please collect the Gmail IDs of those who have still not been able to. I think Karthik and Aditya, both of them have raised their hands. So please take the responsibility, collect all of your friends' Gmail IDs and share it with us. Okay, so before we go to like an open house discussion, like I guess you are already having a lot of queries. So maybe like one by one you can raise your hands and like speak out about your queries. But before that, I just want to do a test trial. So just see, so this is the mode in which predominantly myself and Pawan are going to teach. So just see, I'm trying to share my screen. See if it is visible. If my screen is visible. Just one of you tell me yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine, great. Now check like if something like notes have appeared.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
And can you see me scribbling?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is the mode in which we will be conducting our classes. Okay, so sometimes the handwriting might go a little bad. Immediately remind me. Okay, because like I might not be aware. I mean, same is the case for Pawan. Like if you are not able to follow the handwriting, because of course you understand that we are writing in an online, I mean in an electronic device. So there might be issues like that. So try to like also guide us during the procedure, because like unless we all help each other, it okay. So I think I got muted for a while.
Right. So yeah, I did not try any settings today, but I think there are people who are muting others, who are removing them out of the meeting. So yes, fine. We will have all the settings for next time.
Yeah, so this is like these things have to be taken care of, like so please be a bit careful about this. So like if one of you are muting me while I am taking a class, then like I am not to be blamed. You have to run after that friend. You have to catch that person and like do whatever you want, but I am not to be blamed. So I think, Pavan, we can make these settings, right?
Right, I can do that.
So maybe
Today I
maybe like, yeah,
device.
yourself and myself can be the organizer, or
Yeah. Next,
whatever.
all the next meetings we will have the settings.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So I hope that that resolves the majority of things. We are able to communicate through this device, like, and you are able to see things, um, and this will be the mode of communication all through. So the thing is that, like, all since it's already getting recorded, but the notes will also be available. So when I'm scribbling, this is automatically getting saved, and then at some point in time I'll keep on sharing the notes with you guys, so so that, like, you can prepare for your tutorials as well as for the lab. But there are a few things that I want to, like, um, uh, talk to you about, and these are important things. Number one, remember that this is a dense course. See, I don't want to intimidate you, but I'm just stating reality. It's a dense course. There will be a lot of things that we will be covering, starting from simple complexity analysis, then we will do dynamic programming, sorry, divide and conquer, then we will do dynamic programming, then we will do greedy algorithms, then we will do graphs, a lot of graphs. And like, this will be like, there will be graphs everywhere. And then we will do some advanced data structures like hash tables. We will do heaps and many other things, like as they come up. So, like, as you see, it's already a very dense course, while the theory will be, like, basically relating to the fundamental understanding of the problems. The lab, of course, will be more challenging, because, like, in the lab you are supposed to have a hands-on on the kind of things that you are learning in the theory. So oftentimes you will see that that although the syllabus for the lab and the theory are in consonance, but the level of problems that are being given in the lab is, like, quote unquote tough. So for that reason, there are two things that I would suggest. One is, never miss your tutorials. Because in the tutorial classes, what we have planned is, we will pick up one problem that we gave last time in our lab assignments, and we will show you, like, how to solve these problems, target these problems end to end and solve it. Okay, so this will be a kind of a training for you to cope up with the difficulty that we have seen most people face in their lab sessions. Okay, so this is one thing. Second is very important again, revise your pointer basics. You will see that this is hardly needed when we teach you in the theory class, but when the moment you go to code, you will need a lot of pointer ideas. Okay, so the pointer fundamentals should be crystal clear to you, and you will see that this pointer is not going to leave you, like, even when you are in your job in the industry. Okay, in some form or the other, this is going to stay with you for long. So it's very important that you revise your pointer basics from the very beginning, because we have seen that this is one of the place where people have a lot of hardships. Okay, so please Again, this is not something that is part of your syllabus, because we are assuming that you have already got a good idea of the pointers and their manipulation in your programming and data structure. So in algorithms, we are not supposed to teach you the pointer basics, but since we felt that there is a lot of problem among the students, so what we thought is that we will give you 1 hour full tutorial on pointer basics next week. Although 18th is a day of class suspension, but we thought we can arrange this class and we can give you the necessary inputs. So uh, of course that input is already there, but then I would invite all of you to go back and brush up your pointer basics very, very well. Okay, so these are the two things. And the third thing is learn a bit of competitive coding. Okay, so of course these two are mandatories. This is kind of like it depends on you. If you can manage time, like register into some of the I mean, one is fine, into one of these competitive coding platforms, try to solve some problems, start with easy ones, and then increase your level of hardship. I mean, that is one way people learn to do coding, as far as my experience goes. Yeah, so that's all apart from the slides that Professor Pawan Goel has already shared. So I think now we can open the floor for your questions. So one by one, you can raise your hands, unmute yourself, and ask questions.
Yeah, before that, I will just send the link for CSE Moodle. So if you see your chat now, you can find the link for CSE Moodle. I mean, you might have used the Institute Moodle last time. CSE Moodle, you might be new, so you will have to register on that, and make sure you give your roll number as your ID. So login can be your any name, but inside when you give your profile, in the profile there is an ID thing. So provide your roll number. So there you will find the course Algorithms 1 for Autumn. So you will be able to register. For that, you also have to give a key. So I'm just pasting the key for that. And of course, you don't have to do that right now. You can do that anytime. You can do that even, I mean, few minutes before the lab or during the lab. No issue. Just that you will submit the assignment today using this. So you will need that for submission. So this is the key that you will use, that I have just pasted on the chat. So log into the course. Okay. Sure, I think then questions. Do we need to create a new account? Yes. I don't think you will have an account. If you already have an account, no. If you are already using this Moodle, maybe for PDS you have used this Moodle already, then don't create a new account. Yes, you can use your previous ID and password if you already have an account. If someone does not have an account, please create one. Yeah, fine.
So guys, just one important thing, note that you are on the CSE Moodle. Last semester, I don't know whether you were on the CSE Moodle or the Institute Moodle. So this is the CSE Moodle.
I think for PDS, they might have actually used this for PDS.
Yeah, maybe. Some teachers might have used the CSE Moodle. So just a word of caution, be careful which Moodle you are in.
Sure, sure.
Okay, sure.
Okay, then nothing to do here. I mean, you already have an account. You just have to enroll into this course as a student with the key that I have mentioned. Nothing else. It becomes very simple. Okay.
Okay, I see there is one question. So unfortunately, STLs are not allowed. So CPP is allowed, but STLs are not.
Right. So we will allow you to code in both C and C++, but you should know how to compile both C and C++ programs. I mean, you should have compilers for both, but you can write your code either in C or C++.
Like compilers, GNU compilers, because your TAs, when they are going to evaluate, they are going to evaluate in their GNU compilers. Okay.
Okay, the full name for the course. Just give me a second. I'll just check this again. There may be only one course with Algo 1, but yeah, let me just check again. What is the name? Okay, somebody already found that. So it's mentioned on the chat. It starts with the course code CS21003. Thanks for doing that. Okay.
Yeah, so I think we were talking about both C and C++, and like trying to have GNU compilers so that you can compile things, like, and you are at the same settings with that of the TAs. And as I said, like STLs are not allowed, because if STLs are allowed, then there is no point like asking you doing this lab at all. Like, for instance, will give you problems about sorting, etc. So all those things are like, uh, like application interfaces using STLs. So that is something that will not be allowed.
Right.
Any other questions? So again, a reminder, tomorrow, 2 hours continuously, we will have theory class, 11 to 1. Again, next week, we will have 2 hours.
Okay, so we have been getting this question a lot. Will we be evaluated on today's lab?
Okay, first you come and do the lab, na bhai, then we will see. Depending on the situation, etc.
And they don't even want to come to the lab today.
See, everything is negotiable. As long as you are present in the lab, you are doing things. No, STD array, STD vector, etc. are not allowed.
Some have been saying that they do not know stacks. So I think you should not say that in this course. So you should know stacks. If you have not learned, please learn. if it was not in your PDS, it should be there on PDS. I will send you some material right now because generally it is in the syllabus of PDS.
No, see AD's lectures.
Right.
Take a video lecture
Sir,
of 1 hour.
I would like to, sir, can I say like for us the syllabus was cut short, so they had actually removed stacks and queues, etc. We have only learned up to linked list.
No, but then it is like, see, it's upon your own interest you have to learn. It's like that might be left out, but that is upon your own interest you have to learn. Stacks and queues के बगैर how will you survive? Like इसके बाद compiler पढ़ोगे, etc. Automata theory पढ़ोगे, सब में stacks का use है.
No, even in this algo, I mean,
even in algo,
even in
algo we will, so even in algo, like when we will teach you searches on graph traversals, etc., there will be use of stacks and queues. ये तो पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा.
Today's lab, can you skip this 2 topics?
No, you can, what you can do is you can go back, use that use this time between to quickly have a look into a tutorial on stacks, and there is like I think there are around 100 to 200 variants of stack coding on the internet, if not more. So like go to Geek for Geeks, and that will also have a very nice explanation of stacks.
Especially see stacks, how to implement stacks using linked list. And I'll be sending you one slide that we had used earlier for PDS. Just give me a second.
अच्छा चलो 5 minutes में बता देते हैं like the basics of stacks, and then like you look for more details on the materials that Pawan is sending. Okay, suppose these are a set of dishes and you need to wash. Okay, so how are you going to do it? नीचे से जाओगे, यहां से डिश निकालोगे? Yes or no? एक एक डिश यहां से निकालोगे. सपोज दिस इज द टेबल.
No, sir.
तो कहां से निकालोगे? यहां से.
Sir, ऊपर से.
हाँ. Okay, so this is like ऊपर से एक एक डिश निकालोगे और we will wash. Fine. अभी समझ लो रेस्टोरेंट से बहुत सारे अलग plates, there are more plates coming in. Where will that waiter put it? नीचे रखेगा, bottom. ये पूरा प्लेट को हटाएगा और फिर he will put it at the bottom.
ऊपर ही लगाएगा.
What is the most logical place to keep it? At the top itself, right? So dumping new plates also happen at the top, and taking off new plates for washing also happen from the top. Okay. So now if I tell you that this process has to be automated using some data structures that you have learned. Fine. So then the basic thing that you see here is what is called last in, first out. Okay, जो last in करता है, this is the person who is the last in. That person is also taken first for washing. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this waiter putting the dish on this plate or on this stack of plates, this is what is the stack, which we call the stack. Waiter putting plates on the stack of plates, this is called pushing on stacks. Okay, and you taking out one after the other the plates for washing, this is called popping from stacks. Okay, so remember, there is one operation that is pushing, there is another operation that is popping. Okay, fine. And every time you can only see which part of the stack, where do you have access? Where do you have access?
On the top.
Huh? Only at the
Top.
कहाँ से plate निकालोगे? Only at the top. Okay. So there is push, pop, and seeing the top of the stack, which is also sometimes called picking. Okay, and the stack top is marked using a pointer, and most of your manipulations that you do is based on this top pointer. Okay, now this was all about dishes and plates. Now you can always think of a linked list. So इस linked list को अगर, if you have to make a stack out of this, where will you push and where will you pop? Linked list में insertion कहाँ होगा, deletion कहाँ होगा?
सर हेड में ही दोनों कर देंगे.
Both head. So any linked list which allows insertion and deletion only at the head can be approximated as a stack, plus the head pointer is the top of the stack. which you can pick. So अगर मैं तुम्हें stack का definition दे दूं और एक linked list बनाने के लिए बोलूं where like this property has to be maintained, can you not do this with the concepts of insertion and deletion of linked list?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is as simple as doing some insertion and some special type of insertion and deletion on linked lists. That's all. Once you know the definition of stack, this is only the thing that you have to do. Manipulate your linked list in a special way as per the definition of a stack. So imagine that this linked list is a stack, and therefore it immediately tells you that all the operations, both insertion and deletion, happens from the head of the list. So आज का जो assignment है उसमें stack ही काफी है. I'm already telling you, stack and linked lists are काफी. So I think go and look into some implementation, linked list implementation of stacks and general brushing up of linked lists. That should be enough for today's lab. Yeah, Pavan, if you want to add something.
Okay, thanks. I think you have given already a very good intro. And they have the 2 slides I have shared. So lecture 27 talks about stacks and queues and the array implementation. And lecture 28 talks about the linked list implementation. So as has been already disclosed, we will talk mainly about stacks with the linked list implementation today. Okay. So you can go through that. And of course, yeah, we will be there to help you. So.
Shubhajyoti, what you have asked, yeah, it will be sufficient for today. Anything else?
Yeah, I think we didn't say that, but in the labs, all the evaluation will be based on the assignments. So please ensure that you do things on your own. So it was in the slides, but again telling, do not copy from internet, because you may say that I didn't copy from any friend, but I copied from internet, but someone else may also do the same. And then, yeah, you both codes will be similar. So do not copy. So do things on your own. Of course, you will try to have the problems that you do not find on the internet directly, that will help you prevent from copying. But still.
And in the lab session, after we teach you for the first 20 minutes, use the next 10 minutes to read the question carefully. Typically, the lab questions are like textually long. That does not mean that you need to do a lot of things, but they are textually long. Read and understand the question very well. So what we have seen from our experience, that some of you read half of it, start coding, and then like in the middle of the lab, you realize that some of the things or some of the constraints that you were asked to like consider, you have not considered, and now it is extremely difficult to roll back. So you are in a middle of nowhere kind of situation. So it's better that you read the question end to end properly, give yourself some time, take a deep breath and then start.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I think we are close to the time. So yeah, one thing is that the course is generally hard, but we are here to help. And you need to tell us. If you need help, you need to tell us in whatever way. And we will try our best. But if you do not tell us, it will be difficult for us to know that you require help in either theory, lab, or something else. So please, when the classes are anyway happening live, so you have time, you should use the time to ask your doubts. Even after the class, please feel free to ask your doubts to us. Live, yeah, I mean, the best way they can be helped.
Yeah, quote unquote live.
Okay, so I guess there are no other.
Okay. ठीक है. So see you at 2 p.m. today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.